Alright guys, welcome to episode 2 of Follow Your Vision. Today I have a really good friend of mine, someone I've known for probably about 8 months now, almost a year. One of the better dudes I know. He's a hard worker. He's really dedicated to everything he does. So I work with him. You've probably seen him in my Snapchats countless times, on my Instagram story, everything. He's a really good dude. It would be my boy Zach right here. So let's get him and see. There he is. The one and only Zachariah Smith right here.
The one and only.
Let's get this going. Alright. So first question I want to ask you is, obviously you work for a gym, the fitness is a big part of your life. So what influence has fitness had on your entire life?
Influence? It's had a pretty big influence on me because obviously, I don't know if you guys, they don't know, but I used to be 345 pounds.
It'll be on the video right here on the side right here.
It'll be right there, right here.
Yeah, right there. Exactly.
Maybe
yeah.
Right here. But yeah, I used to be 345 pounds. I was super overweight. I was socially awkward. I didn't really talk to people. I was actually homeschooled. So I was a big guy. I was kind of depressed, and then I ended up getting into fitness because my best friend Andrew got into it. I ended up losing some weight. I saw some results. I enjoyed what I was doing, so I kept going. I kept doing it. Ended up losing about 140 pounds, and then not only that, actually I ended up working for an LA Fitness because I got a little guest pass, and they forced me to buy a membership. So after I lost all my weight, I ended up working here. Now I have a bright future and a good career in fitness, actually. So it's pretty much changed my life.
Pretty solid. He's the assistant general manager at what, 21 years old?
Yeah, I'm 21.
For a gym already. So awesome. So working at a gym, do you see like a relationship between being in the gym and then working at a gym, and how the work habits might be similar?
Yeah, with working out and then with working for LA Fitness, it's actually exactly the same. The most important thing is going to be the consistency. Working hard, not giving up, being patient. So patience and consistency would be the two main key points with working out and working at LA Fitness. And then just keep putting in the work and just don't give up.
Honestly, yeah, that's always what it is. I always tell people the hardest thing is getting yourself to go there every day, because once you get there, it's the easy part.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. All right, so obviously you're 21 years old and you're in the working class. You work a full-time job, you're not in school. A lot of people can relate to that. So with that mentality going on, what motivates you to go out and work and just be a full-time employee and make money?
The thing that motivates me the most with working so much is that actually I grew up poor. My family, they don't have a lot of money. Even now they're still struggling. So I'm used to being poor, so I have an obsession with making as much money as I can. So, I don't let it get to my head, but I do like to make a lot of money. So I don't want my family or my future to be kind of like how mine was when I was growing up.
Okay, cool.
So that's the biggest thing, that I just don't want my family to have to, go through what I went through. I want them to be able to get what they want, have money to go out and do things, have a good time, not be stressed out, growing up.
Yeah, definitely. So as a background, we know you work at LA Fitness now, but can you give us a little background on what you've done, like other jobs you had?
Yeah, my first job, I've only had 3. I worked at Little Caesars. I actually was an assistant manager there too after a while. Then, but you can only work 5-hour days every day, 5 days a week. So I was only making $400 checks, every 2 weeks. So it was pretty bad. I ended up going to McDonald's after that. I worked there. You get more hours. I didn't end up getting promoted there, but it was more money. And then I decided to actually just quit at McDonald's and give it a chance at LA Fitness. I got into sales. Something I never thought I'd be good at, being socially awkward growing up. And then my mentor Derek, taught me the way, and then it just stuck with it. And
that's awesome, man. So
pretty good.
It just you worked your yourself up, because a lot of people stay in those kind of jobs. They just don't see a future out of it, and they stay in those jobs. So it's really cool to see you pull yourself out of that. Yeah. What would you say would be the biggest thing that probably brought you out of it?
Honestly, it was probably my first general manager, Derek. He built a lot of relationship with me. He taught me how to be outgoing. He was more of a friend than a boss. So he kind of pulled me out of my shell. It was weird. I mean, I was really weird.
That's cool. So he kind of had that influence on you to pull you out and make you feel like you could be more than what you were.
Exactly. And then he just taught me what to say, how to say it,
So shout out to Derek for doing that.
Shout out Derek, D-Risp.
All right. Here at the gym, it can be a little bit hard to have a social life. So what are some of the challenges you face at work and in fitness and having a social life that you deal with on the everyday that maybe other people are probably experiencing too?
It's actually contradicting because I work so many hours at the gym. It makes it kind of hard to actually work out afterwards, so it's a little contradicting. I work sometimes up to 70 hours a week, so it makes it pretty difficult to actually go work out after I'm tired. I know I'm already at the gym, so it's kind of a lame excuse, but it's been pretty tough being consistent. Lately I've been better with it, and also socially wise, it's pretty difficult having time to go out, do stuff with your friends, having one day off a week, and working so much. But just like anything in life, you make time for what's important. There's 168 hours a week. There's definitely time. It's just all about prioritizing. So
Awesome, awesome. I mean, I hang out with Zach all the time. I know we go out and get drinks sometimes. I
Yeah.
know he goes out and hangs out with other people too. So, I mean, he does make time for everybody. It's really cool to see. Any recommendations and just like maybe a tip that would help people? Like, hey, if you're working, I mean, a lot of people do work those kind of hours and they let it consume their life. So, what would be your tip to let them not consume?
The biggest thing I can say honestly is there's always going to be time. It's just prioritizing. Don't let being tired or working too much be an excuse not to, build a relationship with your friends or your family. You don't want to ever let that damage it. You got to keep in mind your friends and family are always going to be important to you.
Definitely.
Work is important too, but don't let it ruin your life.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people let it consume them, and that's another thing
It's
too.
true.
I think a lot of people let their work consume them to where they want to be in the gym and they want to go work
Yeah.
out, and then that's their excuse. Oh, I work too much. I don't have time to go and do it.
Mhm.
And
But being in sales, that's the number one thing. You don't tell me you don't have time, because I'm gonna break down your schedule and I'll show you that you have time.
yeah,
There's always time.
it's professional. That's
Yeah.
what they do.
Tell me there's not 10,800 minutes in the week.
And then working out wise, do you have any struggles right now that you notice maybe? I know that you were struggling a little bit with you put on a little bit back weight, but obviously you cut back down.
Yeah, so actually, like I said, I lost a lot of weight. I ended up gaining weight working at LA Fitness. I pushed up back to 260 again. And then just recently, since I got promoted, I've been putting it back in the work again. I'm now back down to 220 again. I have a little more muscle on me, but I still have a long way to go. But yeah, I went back up a little bit. I let the work get to me, and then I decided I can't let that happen no more. So I decided to put in the work again, prioritize my time, and then I'm down another 40 pounds.
Awesome to hear. All right, so my last question is, so let's say you were looking at somebody that was in the same situation you were 2 or 3 years ago before you worked at LA Fitness, before you were working out. What kind of tips or recommendations would you tell them to get them out of that hole where like maybe they're working at a job they don't want to work at, or they're not in the gym the way they want to be, they're not happy with how they look? What would be your advice to them?
Well, the biggest thing is you got to realize everyone started somewhere. You see people in the gym, they're in great shape, but you get intimidated by them. You got to realize not everyone was like that before. So you got to know everyone started somewhere, and this is just where you're starting. You got to start now so that a couple years from now, you're someone's motivation, so that you're where they want to be. And as far as working, you got to be happy. If you're not happy somewhere, and then you feel like you can't work there, you got to take the chance, and you just got to. That's what I did. I was working at McDonald's. I wasn't happy. I was miserable. I took the chance to work at LA Fitness, and if it's important enough to you, you'll put in the work and you'll be successful. All you got to do is be consistent, love what you do, and just put in the work, and you'll make it. I mean, that's really all there is to it.
Awesome. Any last words you want to say, or anything else that you want to tell us? I'll put it as Zachariah Smith's Instagram.
Oh yeah, follow me on Instagram. Like my pictures. There's only like 6, so I don't got a lot of followers.
All right, Zach, I just want to say thank you for doing this. I thought it was really important to get someone with Zach's background in it, because he's gone through so much. He's worked so hard for everything he has accomplished. I mean, if you see the pictures of him, you can see the big difference in him already. But that was like 2 years ago, isn't it?
My biggest, probably about 2.5, 3 years ago.
Yeah, so
max.
props to you, man. Like,
Thank
good
you,
work.
sir. Sorry, he let me pick the location, so I told him I want to do it on a mountain.
No, I had fun doing this.
Yeah, but why not, right?
It was fun really doing this, and I want these videos to be more about the person. So this is what he felt was a good representation of where he was at. Other
I
than
used
that,
to look like this mountain.
he used to look
Yeah.
not maybe not as wide, but
Maybe a little bit wider, actually.
oh my god,
It was bad, let me tell you.
yeah. All right, so thank you, Zach, for doing doing this.
Yeah,
And props to you for everything you've accomplished. I can't wait to see what you do in the future, man.
of course. VP of the company coming soon.